Hi, I'm ESPN Vikings reporter Ben Goessling, and I'm outside the Vikings training facility in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, where the Vikings just finished the 2015 NFL Draft. If you were going to assign a buzzword to this class, that word would probably be potential, which means the Vikings probably don't expect to get as much out of this class in 2015 as they might get 3 or 4 years from now. The Vikings, however, are willing to go through some of the growing pains they'll see with this class because of what they think they can get from the group once it matures. You have guys like LSU defensive end Danielle Hunter. The Vikings think he can be a freakish pass rusher in the NFL, but he only had a sack and a half last season for LSU. He's got a lot to learn about how to get to the quarterback at this level. Pittsburgh offensive tackle TJ Clemmings, a lot of people had going in the first or early second round. He had a foot injury surface during the pre-draft process, and he's only been an offensive tackle for 2 years after shifting from the defensive end position at Pittsburgh. They're going to have some things to work through with him. And fifth-round pick Michael Pruitt from Southern Illinois could be a tight end fullback hybrid, kind of like Charles Clay, who can do a number of things in the passing game. And we all know how much Norv Turner likes tight ends and fullbacks to contribute to the passing game in his offense. He had more than 80 catches at Southern Illinois last year, and the Vikings think he might be a guy that could be a sneaky pick in the 5th round of this draft. They'll have to go through the learning process with him too, but the Vikings took a number of players like this because they believe in their coaching staff. The Vikings think coaches like head coach Mike Zimmer, Turner, some of the position coaches they have like Andre Patterson at the defensive line and Jerry Gray in the defensive backfield are very good developers at this level. These are guys that have been coaches for 20 or 30 years, and the Vikings are betting on their ability to take some of these raw players and turn them into standouts in the NFL. We certainly saw improvement from guys like Everson Griffin and Xavier Rhodes to suggest last year that this coaching staff can do that, and the Vikings probably will take more of their drafts in that direction than take players who might be maxed out in terms of their ceiling once they get to the NFL. This class for now gets a B from me. I think it could end up being an A in 3 years. It could end up being a C. A lot of that's going to depend on how the Vikings develop these players, but that's what the Vikings like to do. They trust this coaching staff, and they're probably going to gamble in that direction more often than not. So it's a B for now. I like what the Vikings did in the 1st and 2nd rounds with Trey Waynes and Eric Kendricks, and I think they have a number of gambles that could pay off in the long term, and if it does, that grade will go up substantially in the next 3 or 4 years.